So however we edit our way back into that, I'll wait till you're done licking your fingers. Just grab everything and shove it in your face.
Are you gonna dab it again?
No, my mouth is already on fire. I better do this 2 or 3 times.
Give me that sunshine, sunshine. Give me them good times, good times. Nothing but good vibes, Give me that sunshine.
We are cooking indoors. Summer's about over, but you can still get barbecue chicken flavor. That is what we are doing today. Indoor barbecue chicken. And we get right to it. We get the oven cranking up right out of the gate to a medium-high heat. We're gonna fry these in batches. Before we do that, we need to add flavor to our chicken. So we pre-mix, as per usual, all of our seasonings ahead of time. And we will tell you what's in there. I'm gonna slide over just a little bit. Right here is gonna be the full list of ingredients. But we have chili powder, we have brown sugar, we have salt, garlic powder, cumin, black pepper. That's all of them. And 3 pounds of chicken. 3 pounds of chicken, this seasoning, sprinkle it in. Get your chicken well coated. I just throw it into the pot here. Take my tongs and give it a good tossing, get them well coated. And the cumin, the garlic, you can already, it's so much fun doing it on this side because we get the early smells. You guys don't get the smells. Scratch and sniff will be invented at some point. But until then, get them well coated. Now I'm gonna have to do this in batches. We have 2 tablespoons of oil in the pan, and these won't all fit in the pan at one time, right? You don't hear that sizzle, you probably don't have it warm enough. I'm actually gonna crank that up a little bit to get a little bit of charring on the skin. And the chicken, we're gonna cook about 5 minutes on one side, and we'll cook 3 minutes on the other side, and then we'll be moving on to the next step. So as I pack these in here, here's the thing. You don't have to do this with chicken wings. In fact, in some ways, it might be a little bit easier if you use bigger cuts of chicken, chicken breast thighs, drumsticks. 3 pounds, still the same seasoning mix. We just happen to have wings on hand. And that's the thing about cooking, right? So many of these recipes you can move in and out. Just be thinking about the right ratios and the right amount of protein to ingredients. So we're gonna kind of pause here as we cook these batches. When we come back, we'll be finishing up and moving on to the very next step of this.
A few moments later.
We're back. We have just finished, we are finishing up the frying. We did 5 minutes on one side, 3 on the other. It would take only 8 minutes if you're using bigger pieces of chicken. It takes us a little bit longer because we're doing up all the wings. So all the wings come out. You will then add a little bit of oil back into the pan if there isn't sufficient fat in the pan to help you frying or get cooking on the barbecue sauce. So we're gonna make a quick homemade basic barbecue for this. First up, we are gonna add a little bit of fat back into the pan. We have 1/2 cup of onions. And to that, we add 2 tablespoons of water. And this is just to help to deglaze those tasty little bits that are left in the pan from the chicken that you have made. So you want to give that a good kind of scrape there, get them up. Okay, and they should come up off the pan, and that is what they call flavor. Okay, so those are going to cook just a couple minutes to get soft. As we do that, we have, so backing up a little bit, you have a 1/4 cup of water. That's what you start with. I took 2 tablespoons out to add it to the softening of the onions. The rest of the water we're going to use in just a minute. To that, we're going to add or get ready 2/3 cup ketchup. And these are pretty nifty measuring cups. We already have that preset to 2/3 of a cup. Worcestershire sauce is going to be a tablespoon. Molasses, 3 tablespoons of molasses. Wow, that sounded like it was ready to go. We'll give these onions a stir. And they might look a little bit of dark as it picks up the bits. Bits is flavor. Rest of the water in. Okay. Ketchup in. See, such a sweet contraption that is. Worcestershire and molasses in. Molasses a little bit tricky. Let's get molasses all over. Tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Close. Cooking is all about just being close. 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, or if you're on the metric system, that's 10 milliliters. And we want 1/2 teaspoon of liquid smoke. Now be careful with the liquid smoke. It will destroy. Too much will destroy your barbecue sauce. It's not good for you. A little bit will do, 1/2 teaspoon. All right, and then we get this to a simmer. Now we've preheated the oven to 350 degrees behind us because the last step will be coating the chicken here in the barbecue sauce, adding it back into the pan, and then just putting the whole pan into the oven for about a 1/2 hour or 35 minutes thereabouts. All right, so that's thickening up quite nicely. In with the chicken goes back in, and it's going to get layered. So all the chicken loaded in, and then you want to make sure everything feels the love, right? So you're tossing them in here, getting them well coated. Once you get it well coated, evened out in the pan a little bit, you want to layer it somewhat evenly to help with even cooking. Here's what we're going to do in the oven. We're going to put it in for 30 minutes. Then we're going to set the broiler up to high and do it for about another 3 to 4 minutes on the broil to get some of that nice char on the chicken and the barbecue sauce here. So we're going to pause here. We're going to load it into the oven. We'll be back in 1/2 hour.
Many minutes later.
So we're just pulling this out of the oven. We had it in there for 30 minutes, and then we had it on broil for about 4 minutes. So you can see the charring that we were looking for on the chicken. So all that's left now, we're going to plate it up, give the barbecue sauce a stir, put any extra barbecue sauce in the container for passing to your guests. They can dish up their own barbecue sauce that way. So we'll just get the chicken out. Smells amazing, looks great. You get the smell of the liquid smoke. So just a lot of great aromas and flavors that immediately fill the room. This will be a crowd pleaser. Now, one thing we did not add to the barbecue sauce at all was heat. That is something you could add on your own. Hot sauce, 100% pain. If we saw the Hot Wings video, 100% pain, a little 40,000 Scoville hit to the palate. You could actually, as part of the cooking the barbecue sauce in the pan, is to add a little bit of cayenne to that. So a couple different options on how to kick up the heat. But here, I just give this a stir. You want to sort of reincorporate the fats and the barbecue sauce there. I think I heard my dog whining. Even she loves the smell of it. So, all that's left to do is to taste. Jakester. It's still pretty hot, so I don't know if we want to cool it down a bit. We're going to add a little green, little spring onion. Just give it the theatrics, the eye appeal. What's that?
It's very visible.
Makes for good pictures on Instagrams.
You gonna dab it in some paint?
Dab it in the 40,000 Scovilles. I can.
I'm not.
40,000 Scovilles. I don't know if that's a lot. Some people are like 40,000. Not it's no big deal. I think someone commented that I should try a 3 million Scoville. To that person, I say fat chance. Not going to happen. Here we go. I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to do that. I'll cheat a little bit. Dab it in the pane. 100% pane. Remember that heat? Wow. So I'll pause and redo it. I'm sure glad this is the first take, because if I had done that once before already, my mouth would already be on fire. All right, let's give it a taste. That paint is hot. We had to cool it. We've actually tried to shoot this ending a couple times. The chicken was a little warm. I, however, have eaten 2 pieces in the 100% pane hot sauce. So I'm going to try to finish this last take before my tongue goes numb and I can't talk. Let's take another run at the chicken here. Find one that doesn't burn your fingers. Clink. I'll taste it first with just the barbecue. Just the right amount of liquid smoke. Not too sweet. This is, we didn't add any brown sugar to the barbecue sauce. There was a little bit of brown sugar on the rub, but a nice balance of that acidic of the apple cider, but not too sweet. The liquid smoke makes you feel like you were on the grill. I give it a thumbs up. Into the pane it goes. Boom. Man, that's hot. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoy this recipe. Look us up on Instagram. Give us a share, like, subscribe. Just a guy trying to have some fun in his kitchen, sharing it with you. Thanks, and until next time, God bless. Wow.